So next we're going to get our chicken ready for frying. Best thing to do really is to put on the oil, and while that gets hot you can get started on this. It's a very quick process. First thing we're going to do is take 2 egg whites. Now you can use the whole egg if you like. I prefer egg whites only simply because it gives the coating more crunch when it's fried. Next thing is about 4 tablespoons of milk. It doesn't matter whether it's a little bit more or not. And we're going to give this a good whisk. So then we're going to dip our chicken into that mix. The best thing to do with fried chicken is to actually fry it in batches. So in this instance, I'm going to do 3 pieces at a time, because if you put too much into the fryer, it's just going to get soggy, the oil's going to get too cold, and we're not going to end up with a product that we want in the end. Whenever you're handling chicken, don't forget, once you've put the chicken in there and you have handled it with your hands, make sure you wash your hands, because we don't want anyone to get sick. Next thing to do is to coat our chicken with the seasoning mix that we made earlier. This is slightly messy, but also quite fun. Now you can do a single layer of flour or a double layer. I encourage you not to double dip, simply because it's going to be over seasoned. But you know, some people like it that way. And here we are, our coated chicken, ready for frying. There's no need to fill up a whole pot with oil. We can shallow fry this chicken beautifully. But how do we know whether the oil is hot enough? I've set it to 180 degrees on the cooker, but many of us don't have a temperature gauge. So we simply take a wooden cooking spoon, and we're going to dip the end of the cooking spoon into the oil. We're going to see if little bubbles rise from the cooking spoon, and I'm not sure whether you can see it, but they do right now. So that means it's actually at the right temperature. Now before we put the chicken in, a word of caution: if you are shallow frying or deep frying at home, please make sure your cooker is on a stable surface. There are no kids around that can get splattered with hot oil, and just be super careful, because this is extremely hot. And here we go. First piece of chicken in. As you will see, it's going to be a little slow at first, but that's because the oil temperature drops slightly as I put in the chicken. And remember, I said we're batch frying this. Now if I were to put 9 pieces of chicken into this amount of oil, we would come away with basically soggy chicken without coating, because all the coating would just dissolve into the oil. So here we go, it's starting to sizzle, starting to gain momentum, and we're going to fry it for approximately 12 to 14 minutes, turning it over occasionally. We are now almost 10 minutes into the cooking process, and again, as you can see, it's bubbling away quite furiously, and that's good, because that means we're going to get that color and that crunch on the chicken. And here we are, just close to the 15-minute mark, and it's time to take out that chicken. Now this chicken is ready to eat, and you know, if you just want some fried chicken, it's a great recipe for that. But obviously we're going to take it a step further, and we're going to toss it in the buffalo sauce that we made earlier.